Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow now. Let's get started. You won't want to miss the thrilling new developments from the Duggar world that have arrived on your beloved stars. First things first, we have the inside story on. Jana did not enjoy her honeymoon with her new hubby, William Stevenson. After a prolonged period of speculation, Jana rang the wedding bells at last, now enjoying the life of her dreams whilst the most spectacular honeymoon ever, discussing the location to which the pair departed. What does this imply for the renowned Jana the private? Will explain everything to you. Just a moment, however, Reddit has more to offer. Being enraged at an outrageous vintage picture, will be able to rely on Stephen Wissmann. Want to see it? Admirers are giddy at, and this wedding video is now trending on the internet. Shall we explore the picture that contains? Everyone is chatting and wondering whether are you interested in Duggar weddings? Looking back on a past experience to discover a moment that baffles. Under the Duggar dynasty, why did Jessa Duggar marry? Ben and Seewald decided to have a wedding. Parking lot, reception is ahead. Mystery. But we do have some ideas that might perhaps unravel this riddle. We're finally getting down to the joyous stuff. When Anna Duggar was younger, she was able to a significant life transition for the family by rumors are circulating about, as well as comprehensive information on, may come up next for the family of Forsyth. So please press that like button, subscribe, and set up the alert bell so you're never what's new with the famous. Now let's dive into exciting news. We've got some upgrades for you today. During Jana Duggar's romantic getaway with her new spouse Stephen Wissmann, after a long period of expectations and guesswork, Jana went beyond just walking down the aisle to become presently taking a much-needed vacation, which has admirers wondering, where on earth did the just a few left? And what does that reveal about renowned reclusive Jan? Let us go deeper. The specifics: Janet Duggar, the firstborn descendant of the Duggars, eventually got married to Stephen Wissmann. Their first year together had been a total failure, short of what many supporters hoped for. Believed it would be an easy drive to Nebraska. Everyone was taken aback by the couple's unexpected retreat in the tropics, founded on the magnificent images posted by Stephen Wyman on his Facebook page. Looks like they're enjoying the sun's rays in a picturesque coastal town, somewhere in the Caribbean or even Hawaii. The honeymoon signifies a major parting ways with the previous Duggar generations, with her siblings, who often had time-lapse video cameras recording each move. The time Jana is spending away from public glare, admirers are ecstatic for her. A number of people mentioning that she's really success in the Duggar wedding contest, won by holding a traditional wedding ceremony and honeymoon without the obnoxious gaze of crew member Stephen Wissmann, who is employed by it runs in his family as a company. Wissmann Company is probably responsible for this extravagant vacation. His renowned enterprise, that only provider of business services like excavation and coatings for commercial roofs, offers him the opportunity to provide a romantic, intimate honeymoon. On the topic of and praise for the manner in which this encounter has to be for, Jana stood out among her siblings, particularly those who were faced with navigating discomfort of being recorded while experiencing a private moment. However, the major concern about who shot these images is on everyone's mind. There is a lot of hope that it wasn't a crew by individuals or via TLC, and it seems to be rather probable on Jana and Stephen's decision to maintain easy to put up using a tripod, letting them in order to record those priceless moments without any kind of external influence. There is also a great deal of speculation around Jana could wear on her honeymoon. Admired for her humility, admirers wonder, in the event that she brought along her beloved prairie dresses, transformed into cover-ups for the beach, or if she's at last daring to wear something more contemporary. On account of the brief sight of her in a potential, Jana seems to be wearing a one-piece swimsuit, gradually developing her own personal style. Even as she begins a new phase of her life, Jana Duggar really seems to be savoring her honeymoon according to her own plan, and admirers am overjoyed for her, regardless of the circumstances. Set against a tropical background, the exclusive time spent with her spouse to be, or the change from previous familial customs, Jana is embarking on a new chapter of flair and elegance in one's life. Wishing Jana and Stephen the best of luck with their union, and I pray that they still disseminate delightful times. Straight after their honeymoon, we're in for a crazy tale that is racing to get the attention of many people's responses to a stunning Jana Duggars picture from the past. Stephen Wissmann, your spouse, who you must peruse so we can dissect the picture that is generating a lot of buzz. Have faith in us. This is a wedding memory you will always remember in Duggar's realm. Matters pertaining to one's family are often traditionalist, however. This most recent Reddit fan reaction to Discovery's shocking user recently shared a vintage picture from the wedding of a member of the Wissmann family. Stephen Wissmann, who is now married to Jan Duggar, served as one of the groomsmen, although it wasn't the ordinary wedding picture you may anticipate. Rather than Stephen and a few of the other shirtless groomsmen were photographed. Anything that caused admirers to make a double take. Consider the advertisement that said how Jana's gown that had once captivated gets admiration for being fearless during. The criteria for Duggars suddenly became mild when contrasted with Stephen's bare chest. Comments on Reddit range from amusing to frightened as enthusiasts attempt to decipher this photo's look. Surprising user on one site lightheartedly seeing what seems to be a comedic adaptation of Mike the Magician. Nobody else was nearly as entertained with a statement that all of a sudden seeks sobriety in addition to such a terrifying user added picture. Many thanks my loathing. Half of these guys also offer me protection. Feelings of your beverage. But the discourse, the speculation among fans didn't end there. Maybe Jana had even seen this picture prior to finalizing the marriage with a dash of humor may have piqued her interest in the scene that was shown to her. Someone joked that maybe, following her first attraction, she ultimately chose on target to fire her shot. Some fans were unable to assist it in making light of the uncomfortableness of observing the photos discordant. It seemed to be commenting on the fact that we are back to home, shy Endels, the great value version of Chippendales. Audience members giggling as other people noted unpreparedness for the picture, asserting that nobody in Amusing Nation has an iron. Anyone ever considered having these complete dimwits the photo before they emptied their pockets? I don't know what to do since it looks awful. Really? Did Jana Duggar see this insane image taken before to her marriage to Stephen, or is? Here's a lighthearted look into his background when you're either laughing or scowling. Wow, this shot is very captivating. First, before we get into a very baffling and discussed significant events in the history of the Duggar family. Why were Jessa Duggar and Ben Seewald involved? Decide where to have the reception. Choose to do so in a parking lot. Causes a lot of admirers to wonder. Heads. And we'll be delving into the potential causes of it. Mrs. Jess. The wedding of Duggar and Ben Seewald was one of the most talked about happenings in the saga of the Duggar family, albeit their vows were the most important part of the unusual site selection for a parking lot. Audience that tuned in to the episode about the wedding or afterwards revisited it and were perplexed by the reason such an unusual location was selected, particularly in light of the usually opulent style linked to Duggar occurrences. Theoretically, enormous turnout at the location. Jessa and Ben were unable to tie the knot. In order to fit the enormous number of people inside the gym or fellowship hall, imposing